Welcome, everyone. Amy here with Be Lit from Within. Thanks for joining me today, either now or when it's convenient for you, which is great with our technology today that we can film a video and you can watch it later from your home or live with me now. So today I really want to start integrating the basics. Where do I start integrating this mind, body, and spirit? And feel like I am a part of dissolving the barriers between me and the rest of the world so that I feel like I belong, that I'm a part of, and which we all are. We just develop barriers that keep us away from that. So this can help um, release loneliness, sadness, anger, frustration. All of these things can be dissolved, and I look at it as passing through me and not getting stuck. When these emotions get stuck inside of us from our thinking, it's all from the thoughts that we are thinking, then it creates tension and stress in the body, and eventually that will turn into disease. So I don't believe that we can prevent anything. Children get cancer and get sick and pass, and people that are just the loveliest get sick and pass. So, but this is a way of doing my part, doing what I can to treasure this body and this life. And believe me, I deal with these temptations every day. I started off from like a really bad place with diet, exercise. I was a heavy smoker. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions, didn't know what to do with them. Felt very a part of, like I was looking out the window and life was passing me by. And so for me to be able to stand here today in front of you, all this glory and all, not being one of the beautiful people, um, says a lot. And again, it's a daily practice that I have to keep up with regularly, or I'll start to fall back into my old habits and patterns. Smoking is one thing that I've never thought of doing in the past 27 years. So thankfully, that is in the past and gone. But there are many other ways that I fall back on dealing with stress and have desires. For, to have a soda, a Big Mac and fries, those things. And not that I'd never have those, but it's a constant um, maintenance that I have to do for myself and falling into the negativity trap as well. So I can be a grouch, a negative Nelly, and if I'm not keeping up with my own practice, those are the things that will come up for me. It's a yin and a yang, right? So it's all a part of self-care and self-compassion. So one of the things that we can begin with, like step one, is to learn to follow our breath, learn to notice our breath and follow it and pay attention to it and be aware of it. So normally we breathe very shallow up in the upper chest. I remember times where I realize I'm actually holding my breath when I'm really intent and focused on something. Um, so we want to relax that breath and breathe it, bring it down into the belly in order to fill up the lungs fully and get the amount of oxygen that our body needs, because we're usually in a mild version of fight or flight or freeze as we go through our day. The stressors that we feel aggravate our system, our nervous system. So we want to calm that down, and that's going to help with our health and well-being. So, and our thinking capacity and what we're thinking about, and recognizing our thoughts. So to do that, again, breathe in through the nose and imagine that breath going deep into the belly. Even though our lungs may not go that far, we want to bring it all the way down. And this allows us to expand the belly, expand the rib cage, and take a full breath in. Because if you notice, a lot of times, a lot of people have this problem of not feeling like they can take a full breath. And so doing these practices will, over time, help us go into a relaxation place where we can actually fully expand those lungs. And when we fill the lungs up to capacity, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Um, there is something that happens to the cells on the lining of the lungs that brings a little bit of euphoria, and it just feels really good to expand the lungs that much and make them that large and expand that rib cage, and by standing up straight we give the body room to do that, because we tend to kind of sink in, right, and we're not giving the lungs room because the organs all have to go somewhere. So breathing in through the nose all the way down to the belly. Breathing in through the nose tells the parasympathetic nervous system that all is well, we're safe, and we can relax. Now you can exhale through the mouth or the nose. If you feel a lot of stress, open the mouth and release it all. If you're in an okay place already, you can just continue to breathe in and out through the nose. My shoulders have already relaxed because it's been trained. My body and my mind have been trained when I go into this place of, typically I'm closing my eyes, of taking a deep breath, everything relaxes. Where normally my shoulders are tense and raised. I have to constantly work on it. It's not a one and done. So breathing in, expanding that belly. Exhaling fully, pressing the belly towards the spine to get all the air out so we can fill it up fully on that next breath. So let's add in the hands. Sink down, gather from the earth, bring up this beautiful calming earth energy. Great visualizations that help our brain tell our body to relax. Bring the arms up and adjust as you need, but open up the chest. Feel the opening of the shoulders and the chest. Bring it back down. Now we're going to do it with our breath. And you can do this at your own pace. If my breaths tend to be longer, breathe in, just because I've been doing this for a long time. It does help your lung capacity. When I first learned this 5 movement practice, I came home, I went to a teacher training and came home and I started practicing it every day and I started teaching. Best way to learn is to teach. And I went after a class at one of the rec centers, I went to swim and I noticed how much farther I could go in my swimming laps than I used to because my lung capacity had increased that much just from doing these simple breathing exercises. Filling the lungs up fully, breathing in and out. Taking just a little pause at the bottom and at the top, just so we're paying attention and intentionally exhale. So we're not going to go through our whole day paying attention like this, but we can stop and reset ourselves. And we can always stop and look at our breath. And we don't need to be taking full breaths again all day long, but we want to lengthen our normal breathing. Get used to breathing through the nose and breathing more fully. This just helps the oxygen to our brain, to all the cells in the body that the oxygen goes to. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go through the 5 Tai Chi movements. These are basic Tai Chi movements, and if you haven't done them before, Don't worry about getting it right. Just go with the flow, the kind of calm and peace and relaxation. And notice how you're feeling right now. My shoulders feel more open. I feel more aligned. I feel connected and in my body and relaxed. So we're going to bring the hands up, rounded in front of us, and we're going to turn the body to one side, and we're going to make a ball. The arm in front's going to go on the bottom. We're going to shift the weight and float that hand across and up slightly to our chin. The other hand goes down, skims the water as we turn the torso. Form the Tai Chi ball. Imagine this energy ball between our hands. Shift the weight. Bottom hand floats across and up, about chin level. The other hand down, skims the water. Turn the torso. Form the Tai Chi ball. We're not really tweaking our body. We're just 45-degree over to the corner. Shift the weight. Float across. Twist the torso. So this is the yin and the yang, balancing yin and yang. The bottom hand becomes the top of the ball. So balancing yin and yang is what we do all the time. We're balancing all the extremes. And with these practices, we can live in the middle more than the extremes, which in turn conserves our energy. And we have the energy to focus on the things that are important to us, and we let go of the little things that usually raise our blood pressure, get us in a rile, or get us down and depressed. So we want to live in the middle. I do anyway, and if you do, this can help. This is great for balance. We're shifting the weight, we're using our leg muscles, we're paying attention to our body for fall prevention. Now hold it. We're going to flip the ball over. Now the top hand is the front arm. It's going to drop down by the knees. The other hand's going to come back behind us and out to the side, opening up the shoulder. The elbow stays relaxed and we float across. We're turning the torso and we're going to send chi. Just imagine sending positive energy out to the universe. Form that Tai Chi ball again. Shift the weight as the top hand drops and swings by the knees. The other hand back a little bit, opening up the shoulder. Come around. Keep the elbow bent, the wrist relaxed. Come across, twist the torso, point to the corner, and form that Tai Chi ball. Shift the weight. Bring the front hand around. Now the bottom hand is slowly turning, so it's not sitting still. It's going to be the bottom of the ball, meet the top. Drop knee and send chi. Now the martial names for these are different, but we're using it in a different capacity for healing and wellness. It's flowing. It's keeping our mind engaged because our mind is thinking of the hand going this way and the bottom hand turning. We're very, very present in the moment. That's the great thing about Tai Chi is we're moving in different directions and different planes, and it just holds our attention. Now, as we come with this backhand across, stop, bring the bottom hand up, and this is just a transition, cross X. And we're going to open up, and we are going to take one hand back and the other hand forward, cutting the path to clarity. So this hand goes back. I don't have quite enough room to make it all the way back. We're kind of letting go of the past, and we're clearing the path for the future. Bring that back, almost like drawing back a bow and arrow, but just hands very loose. The front hand is like a karate chop right in front of us, very focused. The other hand pulling back. We follow it back, Let it go. Clear the path. This is cutting the path to clarity. So often when we're struggling with something, when we clear our mind, when we go do something else and come back to it, the answers are there, right? So this is a metaphor for that, cutting the path to clarity. It also helps us keep the spine healthy with the twist and opens up the shoulders, and it's toning the arms. Now we're going to bring it across in the front again. We're going to open up, and one hand is going to come down, skim across the water, and then swap out hands. The arm is going to be rounded. We're going to shift the weight and then twist the torso. The bottom hand skims the water. We really don't need to move the hands much because the body is doing the movement, shifting the weight, twisting the torso. Cloud hands. You'll see lots of videos of these on YouTube. Everybody has their own variation. There's a lineage that our teachers have learned from, and this is not specific from any particular lineage. This is for Americans, for health and wellness, and of course, anybody can do this, but it's not a lineage practice that we're passing down. We don't have to get it perfect. We want it to look nice, but we don't have to get it perfect. Our intention is for relaxation and being present in the moment and the physical benefits of balance, posture, keeping our posture. See, just then I stood up straight because my butt was sticking out, not tucked in, and I was sinking down. So stretching my neck tall, tucking my butt in just a little bit, flattening out the small of the back, I become taller. This is more in alignment with the way the body should be. Decompresses the spine. Come to center, make that X again. The last move, we're going to gather from heaven and earth, starting with the earth. We're going to squat down. Don't let the knees come past the toes. So to your comfort level, breathe in. Even if you need to do this sitting, that's okay. Do it and embody the spirit of the practice and move as you are able. Gather from the heavens and bring that opposing energy down. We're living on this magnet, the earth, that helps us be grounded. And then the heavens want us to kind of fly out into space too. But we're imagining these two opposing energies, the yin and the yang, the yin of the earth, the yang of the heavens. So the heavens are wide and expansive and big. And we're going to come and pull that in. So if we're down, we want to open up to the yang. The yin helps us feel grounded. So if we're real spacey, forgetting our keys, feeling unfocused, fuzzy headed, we want to get grounded. Eat more grounding foods, more warm foods, soups, meats if you eat meat, or beans and lentils if you don't. More heartier, heftier foods help us feel more grounded. A lot of times vegetarians will not feel very grounded because they're not eating enough of those heavier foods. Avocado. So you have to make an effort to focus on those. Big breath. Bringing the hands down all the way. Step in. Gather one more time. Big breath in and just pour this peace and calm all the way through the body from the top of the head. Slowly coming down. Feel the energy in your hands. Down to the lower dantian. Whew, got some big energy today. I'll separate my feet a little bit. One hand over the other in the lower dantian, which is right below the belly button. It's our center point of energy. It's Our balance point, it's if we stuck a skewer through, we would spin around on it. It's our center of gravity. And we can imagine it being this energy center that keeps us grounded and sturdy, our foundation of the pyramid, Maslow's. And this is our what keeps us grounded, what helps us reproduce. It's the foundation on which we build. So when we feel grounded and sturdy, we can feel strong like the trunk of the tree and yet be flexible, where we can withstand the storms and the wind and the rain and the snow and the cold, and we can survive because we have a sturdy foundation. This is key. It's hard to move up that pyramid to self-actualization if we don't start with having a good foundation to build upon. When you're without a home or a roof over your head and hungry, without food, it's hard to think about more loftier goals that you might have in life. And even if you have that security of a home, if we're fearful in our mind that it won't last, we don't have enough money, that we just don't have enough of whatever, we're not pretty enough, we're not outgoing enough, we're not smart enough, all of those things will undermine the foundation. So if you don't do anything else but do some stretches and some grounding exercises, opening up, feeling rooted, and breathing exercises and being in the present moment, that will take you a long way. It has me. If you don't have time to do anything else, breathe and get grounded and centered, where you feel like if someone came and pushed you, you would be sturdy. You wouldn't fall over. You can handle whatever comes your way. Now imagine balling this energy up into a little pearl that's hardened over time. And we're putting it in the center of our dantian, this lower dantian, and it's going to distribute. Imagine it breaking down little by little and distributing this calm and peaceful energy for us to use up. It's like our food as it breaks down and gives us energy. This pearl is our calm and peace and centeredness that is going to help us move through our day and help us handle whatever comes our way. And I ask for your, oh, I'm going to cry, support, friends. My beloved Winston, which has been in a lot of my videos, he's terminally ill. He doesn't have long. And I'm using a lot of these practices to go with that and be with that and focus on the gratitude that I have for having had him for the last 13 years. So keep me in your thoughts and your prayers and lift me up with your energy as I go through this. Thank you. Be well.